It's been a week news-wise, and today we're getting into all of it. Lightning Lane Premier Pass, Epic Universe, and Disney in 2025. Hello and welcome to the Let's Go to Disney podcast. I'm Oliver.
And I'm Lucy.
Today is Sunday, October 20th, and you're listening to episode 58, Lightning Lane Premier Pass, Epic Universe, and Disney 2025. Before we get into today's main topic, here's what's going on in the parks right now. Disney Parks blog dropped their ultimate guide to the holidays in Walt Disney World, which outlined everything coming to the parks and resort this holiday season. At Epcot, the International Festival of the Holidays is returning November 19th to December 30th. The storytellers are returning across the World Showcase. They'll be sharing their traditions, tales, and cultural celebrations from around the world. And of course, you'll be able to indulge in some delicious eats from the holiday kitchens across the World Showcase. Joyful, a celebration of the season, is also returning and will be gracing the park with gospel, R&B, and holiday songs. The Candlelight Processional is also returning as expected, and they announced a lineup of celebrity hosts for this year. There will be newcomers Ralph Macchio, Titus Burgess, and Nico Santos, as well as returning favorites like Neil Patrick Harris, Josh Gad, Sterling K. Brown, and Whoopi Goldberg, among many others. Dining packages for this event are also returning and will be available to book starting October 29th, which is just next week. Glimmering Greenhouses is also coming back to Livin' with the Land. We will get further details on Epcot's Festival of the Holidays in the coming weeks. Disney specifically said that. At Animal Kingdom, the Merry Menagerie, which are those fan favorites puppeteers over in this park, are returning starting November 12th. You'll also be able to meet Santa at Restaurantosaurus from November 12th to December 24th. And at Adventurers Outpost, you'll be able to meet Mickey and Minnie in safari-themed holiday costumes. The Tree of Life Awakening will also be returning as well, as it starts to get darker much earlier, given that this park routinely closes pretty early, around 6 or 7 p.m. Over at Hollywood Studios, it'll get its usual festive treatment. Make sure to catch the Frozen sing-along with a festive finale during the holiday season. Sunset Season's Greetings is returning, where Tower of Terror rotates between a Muppets gingerbread masterpiece, a Toy Story hotel, a snowy corner of Arendelle, and a Dickensian village from Mickey's Christmas Carol. And of course, Jollywood Nights is returning on select nights in November and December. At Magic Kingdom, aside from the wonderful festive decorations, the Frozen Holiday Surprise is returning this year. It transforms Cinderella Castle every evening into a shimmering crystallized palace that remains throughout the night. Jungle Cruise will transform into its usual Jingle Cruise starting November 2nd and feature fun festive surprises and holiday-themed humor. At Disney Springs, the Christmas tree stroll is returning, and across the resorts, the gingerbread offerings are returning, including the massive gingerbread house at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort, among many, many others. The holidays are just around the corner, and it's such a wonderful time of year to visit Walt Disney World. We were there last year, like right at the end of November into December, and yeah, it's so magical. And that gingerbread house at Grand Flo was just unreal.
Absolutely. I can't wait to take our kids there one year during the holiday season just so they can see it.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
Yeah.
There is a new paid perk option that will be soon available to purchase for DVC members. This new add-on is going to be named Membership Magic Beyond. You can get special prices on tickets, priority access to DVC lounges, namely the new lounges coming to Magic Kingdom and Epcot. DVC members will be able to use points to purchase a Sorcerer Pass, which is the tier just below Incredi Pass that is only available to Florida residents and DVC members. You will get a bonus point for every extra point you purchase, and you'll have the $95 booking fee waived when booking certain experiences. The cost will be $99 for the year. I've heard from DVC members that this is not great given the tens of thousands of dollars that members are already pouring into their memberships. Others are warmer to the idea and think the cost is modest and the perks could be worth it. So really it seems
It's
like
going to
people
be
are
a hit and miss for people.
Yeah, exactly. It seems like people are split.
Absolutely.
And we got a lot more news this week, but we'll cover those in detail today. It's going to be a news-heavy episode because,
lots dropped.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so Halloween is approaching quickly, and that means the last of the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween parties are going to be wrapping up over the next 10 days or so, and then Christmas will basically happen overnight at the parks. No joke, it's literally overnight.
Literally.
If you're curious about how that happens and how Disney pulls off the overnight transitions, we definitely recommend checking out Decorating Disney Holiday Magic on Disney+. It's a 40-minute mini documentary that shows how the parks are transformed to Christmas. It's definitely worth checking out. We usually watch it every year around this time just to get kind of into the swing of things. Yep. And then speaking of Christmas, we've been patiently waiting for the Stitch Jim Shore Christmas statue to arrive at our local Costco. We've seen it everywhere, all over social media at all the other Costcos. And given that we love Disney and our daughter Sophia loves Stitch, we've just really been wanting to pick this one up. It did arrive at our Costco last week and sold out almost instantly. So hopefully it will come back around again once Halloween's over.
No, exactly, because it's been sold out on the Costco website for some time already. And like Lucy said, last Sunday, someone posted on our local Facebook page that they were in stock. It was closed by the time I saw that, but I went the next morning to pick one up, but they were sold out already. I spoke to customer service quickly to see if they were get any more. And they said no, unfortunately. So that's all they're getting and they won't be getting any more. So we're a little disappointed, but that's the way she goes.
That's the way she goes. It'll probably be out again next year.
Hopefully. On another note, I officially booked a solo trip this week. So I booked a split stay at Pop Century for 2 nights and Port Orleans Riverside for 3 nights. That's going to be from February 2nd to 7th, early in 2025. I booked my flights as well, so it's looking like it's a go. I'm a little nervous. And I think that's just because I've never traveled to Disney or internationally for that matter, like by myself. I've traveled solo for work a few times, but nothing like this. So I'm interested to see how that's going to go. I know there's a lot of people who go to Disney solo, so it's not like anything super, out of the ordinary, but it is out of the ordinary for me. We've been to Disney's lots, like as you know, but it's always together or with the kids, so it'll be an experience for sure. I am looking forward to it though. I'll be hitting all 4 parks and covering the Festival of the Arts at that time as well. Dates haven't been announced for the festival yet, but if recent years are any indication, it'll likely run from the 2nd week of January into the 3rd week of February. It's the 2nd shortest festival, with the Festival of the Holidays being the shortest, so I'm always looking forward to that.
Yeah, so with that said, let's get into today's main topic. So if you've been keeping up with the news in the parks, we've got some major news this week from both the Disney parks and the Universal Orlando Resort as well. We're not conspiracy theorists, but we also don't think it's an accident that Disney and Universal tend to make large announcements right around the same time. So the same week that Disney announces a change or other option for Lightning Lanes, Universal goes ahead and announces the Epic Universe's opening date. Coincidence? I think not.
Coincidence? I think not.
So let's start with the big Disney news. Early on Wednesday this week, which was October 16th, Disney dropped a bombshell when they announced Lightning Lane Premier Pass. This caught us completely off guard. We both woke up, and actually Oliver woke up first, saw it, and he was already downstairs. I woke up, looked at my phone, sent it to him. I said, "Oh my gosh, did you see this?" He's like, "Yes."
Yeah, it was already working on
our
social media post. Yeah.
So like I said, this completely caught us off guard, given that Lightning Lanes were completely revamped not that long ago. Single Pass and Multi Pass just launched not so long ago on July 24th of this year. Not even 4 months later, Disney's dropping this news on us as well.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, we weren't expecting this. It was out of left field, but there it is. So let's talk about what Premier Pass is and what it isn't. Okay, so to be clear, at least as of right now, this is simply another option on top of the existing Lightning Lane options. Again, those are Single Pass and Multi Pass. To our knowledge, these aren't changing and aren't going anywhere. Premier Pass is going to be a separate purchase and it's going to grant different benefits. So first off, this is a pilot project. Disney said that they'll begin rolling out Premier Pass with, quote, very limited quantities beginning on October 30th, which is just days away at this point. Premier Pass will grant you one-time entry to the Lightning Lane queue at each Lightning Lane attraction during your park day. You'll be able to enjoy this service at your own pace, meaning you will not have to select from available return times like you do with Multi-Pass. Premier Pass will allow you to skip the queue once for every Lightning Lane attraction in a park at any point during your day. Your My Disney Experience app will keep track of which attractions you've redeemed and which one you have left to ride, so you won't be able to double up on any attractions. Access includes all the attractions on the Lightning Lane lineup. This includes the attractions currently on Single Pass. So this means with Premier Pass, you'll also be able to access Tron, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Rise of the Resistance, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, and Avatar Flight of Passage. Key point here, though, is that the service is for a single park only. So if you purchase Premier Pass for Magic Kingdom, you won't be able to skip the queue at Hollywood Studios if you were to skip, park hop there in the afternoon. You'll only be able to skip the queue with your Premier Pass at the park you bought it for.
Yes, exactly. So how do you book this new Lightning Lane option? Well, like Oliver said, Disney said that it's going to be a very limited quantity and it's only going to be available to guests staying at deluxe resorts and deluxe villas. Keynote there.
Yep.
It's also going to be extended to include the Swan and Dolphin, the Swan Reserve, and the Shades of Green resorts. So to be clear, if you are staying at a moderate resort, a value resort, or anywhere else off property, you will not be able to purchase this option even if you wanted to. For guests who qualify, the booking will work exactly the same as the current Lightning Lane system. So at 7 days before your check-in day, you'll be able to purchase Lightning Lane Premier Pass for every day of your stay for up to 14 days. And just like Lightning Lane Multi-Pass and Single Pass, you'll have to purchase it day by day. You won't be able to purchase all your days in one transaction. So you can pick and choose which day you'd want to use it for, and you're not tied into using it every single day if you don't want to. Now, the next burning question you're likely going to have while we're on this topic of booking is, how much is this going to cost?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, if you are standing, sit down. If you are driving, pull over.
Oh, yeah,
because
100%.
We're about to shock you.
Yep.
Prices will vary by day and by park, and the range will be from a whopping, in my opinion, the lowest, whopping $149 to an even bigger whopping $449 per person. That's not just for the group, that's per person.
Yep.
This is on top of the cost of your ticket. So the range for Animal Kingdom will be $129 to $199 per person. Epcot will be $169 to $249 per person. Hollywood Studios will be $269 to $349 per person. And Magic Kingdom at the highest, which doesn't surprise us, that's going to be from $329 to $449 per person. Yes, you heard this right. This is the price per person per day.
Yeah.
Not just for your entire trip. That's per day.
100%. Like, that is expansive. Like, before we get into our thoughts on this, and we have some thoughts, this is not unique to Walt Disney World, right? Premier Pass is also coming to Disneyland, and it's actually launching a week before over there on October 23rd, which is tomorrow by the time this episode airs. There are a few key differences, though, so let's cover those quickly. The service here, which is Disneyland, right, West Coast, will be available to anyone, not just resort guests, and will be available on a first-come, first-served basis. You'll be able to purchase the service 2 days before your Park Pass reservation. Reminder that Park Pass reservations are still required over in Disneyland. The price will fluctuate between $300 and $400, with the busier times obviously being the most expensive. Another key difference is that at Disneyland, it will allow you to skip the queue in both parks, so you'll be able to take advantage of riding every attraction on Lightning Lane at both Disneyland and California Adventure.
Okay, so let's unpack that. So first off, let's cover the positives of this. We've been paying attention to social media reactions this week. After reading some comments and some articles and whatnot, it seems that most guests are split on this. Many people think this is way too expensive, us included, and that it's very exclusive of other guests because it's only available to the guests who are staying in deluxe accommodations. They also think that the benefits it provides are not worth that high price tag. Others are saying that it's actually a really nice option to have. You don't have to purchase it for every day of your stay if you don't want to, and that it can be a nice splurge to take the stress off of your day and to be able to enjoy the attractions in the park at your leisure. We can definitely see both sides. It is wildly expensive and exclusive, but it can also definitely be worth it under the right circumstances for the right people. If you're there at a busy day in Magic Kingdom, maybe that is worth it to you.
Yeah, and you're only there for one day, and
you
money's not an object.
Yeah, hey, if money's no object, then go for it. So fair warning, as you guys know, if you've been listening to this podcast for the last little while, and if you're just joining us, welcome.
Agreed. Yep. Welcome.
But we are usually pretty positive. We are pro Disney all the way, and we do try to see things from every point of view, whether that be from Disney's point of view or the guests. But we will be criticizing this new option. You may disagree with us, and that's totally okay. Regardless of opinions, it's coming. Whether it will stick around or if it remains in its current form, only time will tell. But given Disney's track record to readjust, we can safely assume that it's probably not going to stick around if it's not generating interest or revenue is just not what they're hoping for, or at least changes will be made at that point.
Yeah.
Having said that, we do think that this is a misstep on Disney's part, and we're going to outline that here for you.
Yeah, agreed 100%. Okay, so let's draw some parallels here, and we'll compare it to Universal because their Skip the Line service is very similar to this. Disney is not reinventing the wheel on this one, right? This is essentially the base version of Express Pass over at Universal. Reminder that at Universal, you can purchase the Express Pass, which allows you to skip the standby queue at each attraction that offers Express Pass once during your day. They also have the Unlimited Express Pass, which lets you skip the queue at an unlimited number of times at the attractions that offer it. So given that Premier Pass allows you to skip the queue only once per attraction, it's most closely comparable, in our opinion, to the standard Express Pass at Universal.
Yes.
The biggest difference is the price, okay? And the option to use it in more than one park is also a difference. So prices for Express Pass at Universal start at $79 for one park and $94 for two parks. On the busiest days for the two-park option, it can go all the way up to $349. Unlimited starts at $99 per person. That's for one park, and $134 for two parks. On the busiest days, the two-park option can reach up to $379. So at Universal, at the absolute busiest time of year, you can skip the line at any attraction as many times as you want in both parks for $379.
Yeah.
As a comparison, at Disney with Premier Pass at the busiest times of year, you'll be paying $449 at Magic Kingdom and $349 at Hollywood Studios. The parks where Lightning Lanes are most useful, in our opinion. That only grants you one ride through of the Lightning Lane attractions and only in one park. Not only that, but unlimited express pass is included for guests staying at their premier resorts, like over there, like on property at Universal. Your room is more expensive, but it is more than offset by having that benefit, right? You
absolutely.
have unlimited express free, basically.
It's the perfect way to draw people into their resorts. They
Agreed.
were so smart with that.
Yeah, 100%. Whereas at Disney, this is exclusive for deluxe guests, so similar, but you still have to pay for it, right? So you're likely paying like at least on the low end, $500 a night, and more likely, more likely, exactly, right? And if you're purchasing Premier Pass for a family of 4 at Magic Kingdom, even in the lowest season, you're looking at an extra like $1,300. Again, that's just Premier Pass, not counting your room, not counting your park tickets or any like food add-ons.
Yeah.
At busy times at Magic Kingdom, it'll be $1,800 plus tax. That'll be closer to $2,000. That is, wow. That is steep.
That's a lot of money on an already expensive trip.
Agreed.
So to us, the value proposition is just not there. It is priced way, way too high for what you're getting. And again, some people are saying that could totally be worth the splurge. We get that. We're not knocking you if this is what you want to do and this is your take on it. But the real kicker for us, the real nail in the coffin for this option is that Lightning Lane Multipass and Single Pass are still around. It'd be different if they had gotten rid of that, but it's still there. So let's set aside the fact that for a second it's overpriced and offers less perks than the closest parallel we have over at Universal, but Universal doesn't have another much cheaper options to choose from. So meaning if you want to skip the queue over there, Express Pass or Express Pass Unlimited is the thing. There's nothing else. Those are your two go-tos. Whereas at Disney, we have Lightning Lane Multipass and Single Pass that are still a thing. And really, if you're using Multipass to its full potential, you will be able to ride many, many attractions in a park or multiple parks over the course of your day. And it's only going to cost you a fraction. And when I mean fraction, it's a fraction of the cost of the Premier Pass. So for us, it just does not compute. Say we were doing Hollywood Studios, the 4 of us, and Multipass for Hollywood Studios was $25 per person per day. Meanwhile, the Premier Pass was $300 per person per day, for example, on a moderately busy time, which is usually when we're there.
Yep, like May or something.
Yeah, exactly. The cost for our family of 4 would be $100 for the multi-pass and then a whopping $1,200 for the Premier Pass. Premier Pass would let us skip the line at the 13 attractions and shows on Lightning Lane. Multi-Pass would allow us to book all of those with a good strategy, and then we could book Lightning Lanes at most, if not all of these as well. Not only that, but shows like the Muppet Vision 3D, you really don't need a Lightning Lane for that regardless. So again, points to Multipass. And if we had park hopper tickets, we could spend the morning and early afternoon in Hollywood Studios and then park hop over to Epcot in the afternoon and continue to book Lightning Lanes over there, all for $100. Meanwhile, if you had park hopper tickets with the Premier Pass, you can hop, that's not a problem, but you won't be able to skip the queue anywhere unless you were purchasing Multipass on top of that.
Yeah, 100%.
So it just doesn't even make sense.
No, exactly. Like when you're, exactly. And that's a great point. Let's say, $25 for Multipass for the family of 4, $100. Meanwhile, like something, over $1,000 for sure for Premier Pass.
Mm-hmm.
No, there's just no way. Like we wouldn't do that. And again, that's a personal decision. That's just us. But even like if somebody was asking us our opinion or advice for people who are going to Disney for the first time, no, I would rather much you guys spend your money elsewhere than to pour, $1,000 or more into this new system. Absolutely. When you can utilize Multipass and still have a great day.
Absolutely.
So I couldn't agree more. The more I think about it, the more it just doesn't add up, right? There's no way we'd spend $800 on the low end during shoulder season at Animal Kingdom and nearly $2,000 at Magic Kingdom during busy times on the high end for the benefits that it grants. It's just way overpriced. For it to make sense financially for us and as an investment in our park day, right, and experience, it would need to be like 2 things, right? Much less expensive and have way more benefits like park hopping and unlimited ability to skip the standby queue as many times as you want.
Absolutely. If it was unlimited, I would be much more excited about this.
Yes.
Is like, if we could skip the line unlimited, like off, on, without any stopping, I would be much more excited.
It would still be overpriced, but
I agree,
it would be more palatable.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. With all that being said, we really just can't get behind this one. Our initial reaction is that we actually, in good conscience, would not recommend this to a family planning their Disney trip. I would much rather sit down with someone, explain Lightning Lane Multipass and Single Pass in detail, and have them take advantage of that service instead. It's so much more cost effective, and you really can make a great day or series of days using Multipass. For the amount of money you would spend on Lightning Lane Multipass and Single Pass for a 4 or 5 day stay, that doesn't even equal up to one single day for Premier Pass. Like, that's
at Magic
crazy.
Kingdom, yeah, 100%. Yeah, exactly. It's just so steep. You know, if it was half the price, like a case could be made that it was a good investment for at least a day or two during your vacation, right, as a splurge. But paying anywhere from, you know, $1,000 to that $1,800 range on average, on top of your resort stay, on top of your park tickets and any other spending like dining, snacks, merchandise, or experiences, you know, and we didn't even mention that, but really I'd much rather, you know, take that money, you know, like, or spend less on Premier Pass and use those funds to splurge on like a dining experience at Cinderella's Royal Table, for example, or building a lightsaber at Savi's workshop, or, you know, getting Sophia into Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique or something like that.
Yep.
All right. I think we disparaged that enough. And that felt really doom and gloom. And we're sorry, you guys. Like we said, we're usually pretty positive, but that's our take. In the end, it is a pilot. So that means it may not stick around. It may change drastically from what it is today if it's ever implemented permanently. Many things could happen with this depending on how it goes and how it's received by park guests. So time will tell on that one. We'll keep our ear to the ground for any developments, reactions, and news on this, and we'll share it here as we start to learn more. Having said that, we are curious to hear your thoughts on it. Reach out to us on our socials if you'd like to share your thoughts. We're always curious to hear, you know, just how it's being received and what you guys think about it.
All right, so moving on here, let's get into some of the other news that dropped this week for Disney. Premier Pass and the opening of Epic Universe majorly took over the news cycle this week, but there were actually some other significant announcements that will impact your 2025 trip. So if you're going to Disney next year, here are some things that you should know. So first off, the one that I'm kind of sad about is Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. If you are heading to Walt Disney World at any point in 2025, save for the first few days of the year, you're not going to be able to ride Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. This week, Disney updated their website to reflect that the attraction will be closing on January 6th, 2025, and will reopen with a little bit of new magic in 2026. They haven't released much more information than that, but judging from the wording of this release, we think it's definitely safe to assume that it won't be a re-theme or anything significant like that, but we'll more than likely see some new and fun elements in the attraction. Given that Splash Mountain was closed for about 18 months when it was reimagined to Tiana's Bayou Adventure, and that was a significant project, it's definitely interesting to see that this is slated to be closed for at least a year. We're very curious to see what the change will be and just how significant these changes are. We'll definitely keep a close eye on any news for this attraction, and of course, we'll share it here as soon as any details are released.
Yeah, I think it's interesting the timing of this refurbishment. I mean, that area of the park was pretty quiet during the closure of Splash Mountain into Tiana's, and we know there's going to be some major movement in the coming years with the new Cars area going in and the Villains Land going in back there as well. My gut is telling me that this is more than likely making the necessary changes to the attraction to accommodate, you know, whatever changes need to be made to make space for the new additions to the park. Of course, I could be completely wrong on that, and I have been before, but like Lucy said, time will tell.
We're just really bummed because we're taking the kids there.
No, exactly. Yeah.
They love that
ride. I'm going in February. I won't ride it.
No.
We're going to go in May, and we won't ride it then either. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, this is mine too. The wildest ride in the wilderness.
So good.
And Disney had previously announced that Voyage of the Little Mermaid in Animation Courtyard at Hollywood Studios would be reimagined into The Little Mermaid, a musical adventure. Disney said that the musical will be inspired by the story of The Little Mermaid from the 1989 Disney animated feature. It'll include music you know and love, like Part of Your World, Poor Unfortunate Souls, and Kiss the Girl. They said it'll include state-of-the-art technology, as well as new puppets and visuals. Disney initially said that the new show would open in the fall of 2024, but given that it's, you know, pretty much Halloween and it's not open, we did get an update on that. So this week they pushed back the fall 2024 date to the summer of 2025. So we'll have to wait another 9 months or so to experience that over at Hollywood Studios. The theater has been sitting idle since the parks reopened after the pandemic closures, so it'll certainly be nice to see that area revived a little bit when the show opens. It's been kind of sleepy over there.
It's very sleepy, yeah.
Another thing we're watching closely with burning curiosity is an announcement on where the Monsters Land will go in this park. Speculation has been running wild, as you can imagine, so we're curious to see where that will go. There's a space in behind Animation Courtyard, and like if you look on Google Maps, it's just green space back there. So it would make sense to expand out from there, but who knows? Time will tell on that front as well.
So at this year's D23 event, we learned that Dinoland USA would be rethemed into a tropical Americas themed land named Pueblo Esperanza. The new land will feature new attractions, dining, and merchandise locations. It will have the Casita from Encanto, which will house an attraction that will take you through Antonio getting his gift in his room, which fits perfectly into the Animal Kingdom park as a whole. I thought that was a great idea on their part. The land will also feature a new spin on a carousel that will have fun and unique animals, and then Dinosaur is going to be rethemed as the Indiana Jones attraction. Disney previously said that work will start in the fall of 2024 and is expected to be completed in 2027. So Disney didn't explicitly say that the construction was delayed, but fall is pretty much coming to an end here and work hasn't started. But Disney has posted new details and announced the first round of closures to start to make way for construction in that new space. On January 13th, 2025, Triceratops Spin, Fossil Fun Games, and Chester's and Hester's Dinosaur Treasures will actually begin to close permanently at that point.
Exactly. Yep.
So that's it. As of this recording, Dinosaur, The Boneyard, Restaurantosaurus, Dino Bite Snacks, and Trilo Bites will all remain open. The closing date has not been announced for this section of Dino Land, so time will tell for these offerings. When Disney updates the closings of these, we'll share it here for sure. It's going to feel weird not being able to access that area in the park for 2 years or more, but we are actually really excited to see what's going to be done in there when it reopens.
Yeah, and a lot of people really love Dino Land, and we're not those people. We don't have anything against the land. It's just, it's a little outdated.
Mm-hmm. Our kids are too old for a lot of it.
So it'll be nice to see something fresh in there.
It'll be fun.
And, Encanto is such a good movie to pull from for Animal Kingdom, so I agree it should be awesome. And we do love Indiana Jones, so we're excited to see that as well. And while we're on that topic, let's cover off a few things coming in 2025. And to be fair, these next things we'll be talking about didn't drop this week, but if you're headed to Disney next year, these things are coming next year, so it's good to be aware of them. So at Magic Kingdom, Disney Starlight will be a new nighttime parade that is set to debut in the summer of 2025. Taking inspiration from the previous Main Street Electrical Parade, along with the newest technology as of today, basically. It'll bring life to stories like Peter Pan, Encanto, and Frozen, and a dazzling show of lights. We can't wait to experience this one. It should be a really good show. And it's going to be such a great addition to the nighttime entertainment lineup for the parks.
Agreed.
Construction for the new Cars area is also set to start sometime in 2025. We don't know exactly when it's going to start and just how disruptive it's going to be to that area of the park as a whole. But given the scale of the project and the fact that it's completely taking over Tom Sawyer Island and beyond, we can only assume that means a lot of walls.
I'll be shocked if there's not walls.
No, it's going to be like an Epcot situation for a long time. You
absolutely.
won't be able to see anything back there.
I think so too.
Almost certainly, for sure. And over at Animal Kingdom, we're getting a new show in the Tree of Life, replacing It's Tough to Be a Bug. It'll be named Zootopia, better to Zoogether. Zoogether. Yeah. And we'll feature characters like Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde, along with the different biomes from the movie when Judy is taking the train from Bunnyburrow to Zootopia. All of these will be brought to life in the new show. It's set to open in the winter of 2025. And, Disney has not explicitly said, so it's not clear if that's, January and February, 2025, so right away, or December of 2025, next year, December.
I'm thinking December, but who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Time will tell.
At Hollywood Studios, there will be a new villain show that will be replacing Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy. The attraction is already closed and work will begin shortly if it hasn't actually already. It's set to open in the summer of 2025, and we are so excited for this one. It'll feature iconic Disney villains, and the theater will be transformed into the realm of the magic mirror. So cool.
Yep.
You'll see characters such as Cruella de Vil, Captain Hook, and Maleficent. And, of course, there's Monsters Land. Like we said, construction will start sometime in 2025. It'll feature the first ever suspended coaster in a Disney park as you zoom through the factory with the other doors. There is no projected opening as of right now and no indication of where it'll actually go in Hollywood Studios. Again, this has us very super curious as where they could put it, and we're definitely keeping a very close eye on that.
Yep, agreed.
And then over at Epcot, Test Track closed earlier this year and is receiving a refresh. It'll have new vehicles and a new pre-show scene, bringing the ride into a more kind of modern era. This one definitely needed a refresh, so I'm really excited about this one.
Agreed, yep.
And it's set to reopen sometime again in 2025.
Yeah, exactly. So as you can see, there's a lot coming to the parks in 2025, and a lot of construction will start in the next couple of years. It's good to see so much happening to refresh and expand the parks. It's exactly what Walt would have wanted, right? Plussing the attractions, bringing in fresh new ideas. It's all good for the parks, and we can't wait. And a lot of people are like, Walt would be rolling over in his grave if he, saw the changes.
With the prices, probably.
But, plussing was his thing. Yep. Making things better, changing things was his thing. He wanted that with the parks. I've said this before, but when he put out Snow White, that for him was heartbreaking. And he said this, it's because he could never change it. It would always be what it was. It could never be made better. It could not be changed. The feature film was what it was. But with Disneyland, he wanted it to be living and breathing,
Never
right?
completed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just always being plus, always being brought forward into the future with new attractions, new shows, just keeping things fresh.
I think that's what the Imagineers are doing. I absolutely love it when there's new change.
Agreed.
I get really excited for
Yep.
it. All these new lands are going to be so amazing. Like I said, the only thing he would roll over in his grave about is the prices.
Yeah, maybe.
But it is different times.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that's exactly right. People typically will be very reluctant of change.
Yeah.
But
Because we like the old stuff. It's all still really good.
And we totally get that. But inevitably what happens is when this stuff has been open like for a year or two, people fall in love with it. Yeah, exactly.
Tiana's, people are already falling in love with it.
Yeah, I do love it.
Yeah, I do too.
All right, now let's switch gears and get into the big news that hit Universal this week. And unless you live under a rock, you've definitely heard that we finally have an opening date for Epic Universe. So it'll officially open on May 22nd, 2025, which is only 8 months away at this point. We are so excited to experience this new park and all of its offerings. It's so great to finally have a hard date, to look forward to, like a set in stone time.
May 22nd. It's happening. I didn't even, because it's far away from the other two parks, you don't even know what's going on there, right? Because you're not, so you're just
exactly.
like, oh my God, they're ready already?
Exactly. We were just there. But we didn't see it because, that's the one thing that a lot of people don't know is that it's not next to the other parks. It's kind of far away.
You can't see anything that's happening there.
Along with this announcement, Universal shared a lot of details on how you'll be able to visit the park during its initial opening window. So here goes. Tickets and vacation packages will go on sale today, October 22nd. So as you're listening to this episode, this is live. Initially, tickets to visit Epic Universe will only be available with a multi-day ticket purchase of at least 3 days. And this will grant you access to Epic Universe on one of those days. The Helios Grand Hotel will also open bookings on October 22nd, so you'll be able to book a stay there should you want to do that. When you purchase a multi-day ticket of at least 3 days with the option that includes 1 day admission to Epic Universe, you won't have to specify which day you're visiting Epic Universe. You'll only need to choose a start date for your tickets, just like multi-day tickets work as of this recording. If you're worried that the park will reach capacity and you won't be able to visit, don't worry. Universal addressed this as well. They said that ticket inventory and park capacity will be managed to ensure that everyone who purchases the Epic Universe ticket option will be able to access the park during their visit.
So in terms of single-day tickets and 2-day tickets, Universal did address this one as well. They said that single-day tickets and 2-day tickets will be launched at a later date before the parks open, meaning that sometime between October 22nd and May 22nd, when the park is set to open, they will release single-day and 2-day ticket options for Epic Universe. So it's coming. We just don't know exactly when at this point. They also said that express passes and VIP tours will also be available at Epic Universe, and just like single-day and 2-day tickets, they will also be launched at a later date before the parks open. So again, it is coming. We just don't know when you'll be able to purchase these tickets and add-ons.
Yep, exactly.
They also said that early park admission will expand to include Epic Universe, starting with the grand opening and then onward. So starting from day 1, hotel guests will be able to access the park before off-site guests. Another key thing that some people don't know is that Epic Universe is nowhere near the existing parks and City Walk. We just mentioned that.
Yep.
It'll be about a 10 to 15 minute drive from the existing campus to the new campus where Epic Universe is located. The good news is that Universal will be providing complimentary shuttles from Universal's existing parks and City Walk over to Epic Universe and back.
Yep, exactly. And, that's a lot. We weren't sure when it would open, right? I had guesstimated that it would open not until the second half of the year, but I'm very happy to be wrong on this one. We can't wait to visit this park. We have a trip booked to Disney from May 10th to May 17th next spring, so we're not likely to visit it during the first couple of months, but honestly, we're okay with that. We're probably just going to look at a stay in late August, early September of 2025 to let the initial hype die down just a touch and go at a traditionally less busy time.
September's always a good time.
Yeah, agreed. And we fully expect that it'll be really hard to book then as well, but less so than the first couple of months. Just like you guys, we're going to be watching our favorite theme park content creators who will be going when it opens, to see initial reactions and how things are looking as we anticipate our visit. It's going to be so great, and we literally can't wait.
Yeah, I have a feeling that won't even be a Disney trip. That'll probably just be a Universal trip.
Yeah, agreed. And is that enough news for you? It was such a crazy week. The news was literally nonstop, you guys. First, it was like the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad closure, the Hollywood Studios The Little Mermaid show being pushed back, and Dinoland USA initial closures. And I was like, okay, it's a pretty big news week, lots on the go. Then Disney drops Premier Pass, that bombshell, which came out of left field, right?
Yeah.
When I woke up on Wednesday, like we said, and I first started seeing the posts, I actually didn't believe it at first. I thought it was a joke, but then I went on the Disney website and I confirmed that, okay, no, this is actually a thing. And then Universal dropped their sneaky story with just a date, and the next day they announced the opening of Epic Universe. Yeah, it's been a whirlwind of a week news-wise, right, for the Orlando parks. There's no doubt about that.
Absolutely. So with that said, thank you so much for joining us today to talk Premier Pass, Epic Universe, and Disney into 2025 and beyond. We hope you guys are just as excited as we are for all the new things coming to Disney and Universal next year, and then in the coming years after that. It's looking really good for the future of these theme parks, and we love seeing that because we don't plan on stopping going there anytime soon.
No, God, no. Yep. And with that said, make sure to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss any future episodes if you haven't already. And if you could leave us a rating and review, it would be greatly appreciated. It helps us increase our reach so that we can be found by more folks planning Disney and Universal trips. And you can leave reviews right on Apple Podcasts. It's always greatly appreciated. And for Spotify, you can leave a rating.
You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at Let's Go.to-Disney, as well as on our Facebook page, Let's Go to Disney. We share some helpful reels here, and as well as some fun ones too. The link tree in the show notes will take you to all of our socials.
Have a great day, and we'll see you real soon.